Hey, it's Thomas11 for another episode of Lore, theorizing about the stories behind unique monsters in the various Xenoblade games. Today, here is the lore of the Black Triad. Determined Vatslav, Turbulent Martinez, and Thunderclap Dalton are a trio of Speculatos, Levnesses, fought as a group on the third floor troop reserve section of Keves Castle, all with identical stats and arts, effectively being three of the same boss fought together. Their title and position as pilots is possibly a reference to the Black Tri-Stars from Gundam, but that's just a guess. In battle, they summon 3 reinforcement Kevesi troops, which are summoned again when all 3 are defeated, so for most of this fight you'll be going against 6 opponents. Going by their naming conventions, I think Martinez and Vatslav are most likely Machina, but Dalton could go any way, being either Machina, Entia, or Homs. All 3 of them being Machina opens up another possibility in the theory, though. So, for what their backstory might be then, the Black Triad are a lead unit of the high-ranking troops stationed at Keves Castle. Their reinforcements are some of the many subordinates that they command, also stationed in the troop reserve section. They're a group of close friends, or possibly triplets if all of them are Machina, only really supported by their identical stats, but I think it's a more interesting interpretation of who they are. They stick together through every one of their incarnations, usually becoming elite pilots that form a Levness unit together, before inevitably being sent into a staged battle they have no hope of winning, where they go down together so that they can never reach homecoming. The common end to most Ionios soldiers. They don't necessarily get stationed at Keves Castle every single life, but their story more or less remains the same as it does for all soldiers, until their final incarnation that we defeat and eventually free from Mobius control. With their gravestone, the party explicitly doesn't end human soldiers, so they would just be destroying the Levnesses and knocking out the pilots. Then you could probably imagine that rematches are canonically possible with prepared Levnesses. As for their personalities, I imagine that Dalton is the strong silent type, Martinez is pretty angsty and quick to attack, and then Vatslav is their leader who keeps them focused on the mission. This is going off only their titles, since in battle they all seem to behave the same way from what I've noticed. So that's all I've got for the lore of Determined Vatslav, Turbulent Martinez, and Thunderclap Dalton. Let me know what you think their races could be. Do you believe they're all Machina and triplets behind those cockpits? Or any other details that you could add to their story. If you want to see my other unique monster theories about some other curious, unique monsters in the Xenoblade games, you can check out the playlist that's up on screen, and see you next time!